Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am the new Culture Empire founder of the Supreme Elite team on Telegram and the Accrual Accounting Collection Agency. This is Lamont Thomas, and I want to discuss something with you all on this beautiful morning about, I know it's a long-standing conversation and subject of debate. I just want to give my opinion on the right to travel and having certain rights under state and federal law. What I think one of the biggest misunderstandings is a lot of people that are pursuing these endeavors lack the legal understanding and legal interpretations of the court cases that they cite. You ever wonder why, when you cite court cases, when you're in your court for a traffic ticket or failure to have a license or registrations, you notice how, from what I see, people will cite a whole bunch of federal law and state law, right? It's a whole bunch of federal law, they state constitutional law in the state, and totally Supreme Court cases, like those are the three things. And one case in particular, which they cite, is I think it's the 1969 Supreme Court case, the right to travel case. And I was just curious as to whether everyone who has read that case has actually read the entire case, got the entire facts and circumstances as well. Why is that important? Because when you use case citations in a court of law, the case that you're citing, the facts and circumstances must align with your facts and circumstances. Meaning, you cannot take a sentence from a court case and apply that full sentence to your situation when it does not apply. Prime example, with the right to travel, that case, the lady in question was receiving benefits in one state, but was moving to another state. And the other state stated that she cannot receive benefits because she was getting benefits in one state. And the Supreme Court took up the case because she had the right to move freely throughout the United States. So she was living in Texas but moved to Chicago. She should have not had her benefits cut off just because she moved to Chicago. This violates her right to travel. The lady didn't have a driver's license case. It was about state benefits. See, that right there, you can't overlook that. No matter how much you want to do it because it doesn't fit into the narrative, but you can't overlook that fact right there, because every judge in America is always going to look at the facts of the case that you're citing. And most of you all that are citing, damn near all of you who are citing this case, the facts of your situation had nothing to do with hers, so it does not apply from a legal standard. See, this is the thing. You can think what you think is law, and then they actually have law. And this is why interpretation is so important. So her case was centered around state benefits and her moving to a different state. So they're saying that since they deny her benefits in a new state because she had to be a resident of the former state, that violated her right to travel. Nowhere mentioned was there anything about a driver's license involved, registration, insurance. But when you get pulled over, the facts of your circumstances in your case is going to center around not having a valid driver's license, no registration, no insurance. So by just taking that right to travel sentence out of the totality of the case and then trying to apply it to yours, it's really, to be honest with you, it's kind of asinine. And I think a lot of people actually really know what they're doing. They're just trying to get around the underlying issue. So you have the right to travel. You can walk, get on a boat, motorcycle, plane, bus, train, whatever. But in the United States of America, if you decide to travel by use of a motor vehicle, then you must have a driver's license, insurance, and have the vehicle registered. Now, under your logic, and this is why I always say that most people, they think so short-sighted that they don't even realize the positions that they stand on and take will actually negatively affect them if they were on the opposite side of the spectrum. Because under a lot of you all's reasoning, it's just free willy-nilly, get behind a vehicle. You don't need a license. You don't need insurance. You don't need to have the vehicle registered. So under your own reasoning, that means if you bought a new vehicle and you drive off the lot and someone rear ends you, there are no repercussions behind it. They're not going to fix your vehicle because they're going to use the same argument that you're using. Hey, I don't have to have my vehicle registered. Hey, I don't have to have no insurance. Hey, you see what I'm saying? And for you, well, that's different. That'd be an injured party. No, because by your own logic, it's opening the door for a lot of these situations to occur. So who are you going to sue to get your vehicle fixed or replace the vehicle? No one. Under your logic, you'll be stuck with a vehicle that probably won't be operable. So you'll be stuck with it under your own logic. See, your own logic goes against your own self and best interest in the future. So although you have a right to travel in the 50 states of the United States of America, there are rules and regulations behind driving. And here's another thing that you all are missing, and pay close attention. You all seem to ignore or omit the 10th Amendment. Any rights not specifically granted under this Constitution reverts back to the states or the people. There is no constitutional mandate. There's nothing in the amendments that even mentions the word driver's license. The federal government does not have a driver's license mandate, regulation, rules, or statutes. So do you know what that says? It's back in the hands of the state. So when y'all come in court saying federal law, it's called the separation of powers doctrine. You can't just invoke federal law over state law whenever you don't like the state law. You just can't do it. It won't be recognized. So what it basically saying is, you all need to start reading the facts of the case and get into the totality, and then start thinking in reality, well, this case really don't apply to mine. I read court cases all the time and I say, well, nah, that don't apply to me. Well, no, that's different from mine. I won't be able to use that one. But you all think that just because some of your revisionist, patriot, nationalist, more teachers throw something in your face that it's just as good as the 10 Commandments. And that's not the case. Because look at the Constitution. Where is any mention of a driver's license? There is none. The 10th Amendment, separation of powers. And the federal government has not come to any of y'all's rescues behind this. Out of all your federal lawsuits against the judges and the lawyers for defending their clients, in which your frivolous, nonsensical lawsuits has been filed against, none of your fee schedules work. None of your $100 million lawsuits against the sheriff, none of that's work. All of your affidavits of truth, all those outdated, non-applicable Supreme Court cases that y'all want to cite still get no validity. And then you look at it like they're just trying to block your constitutional rights. They're not following the Constitution. Well, driver's license is nowhere mentioned in the Constitution. So you see what happens when you just parrot information and knowledge without getting the full understanding yourself. You see what happens when you adopt a belief system that you have not fully understood yourself. You run into situations like this. And I'm just going to address the elephant in the room before I go. A lot of people only take up these beliefs and systems when they're trying to get out of an obligation. That's all it is. When they don't want to be held accountable or they want to get out of an obligation. I've noticed that overwhelmingly a majority of people who do this right to travel, don't need a driver's license, I'm traveling, not driving, whatever. However, like the semantics games is even nonsense. A lot of these people have suspended driver's license, probably got a couple warrants, probably got revoked driver's license, ain't paid their court fines, or some people are under one of the most nonsensical beliefs that you can unilaterally cancel all contracts that you deem don't benefit you, and that will be the end of it. I don't know what type of contract law that y'all follow, but the contract law that I've read has no similarities to the contract law that y'all be evoking. I don't understand what it is. It's like you take bits and pieces that benefits you, but then ignore the rest that doesn't suit your best interest. It's cool, but I'm here to tell you all, it's too many so-called legal beagle sovereign experts that really don't understand how law operates today. So y'all can take it for what it's worth. I could care less. I'm just trying to give you some insight. And anybody that has anything different to say, just show me that you won on your fee schedule. Show me that you won, that you're able to just show me black and white law evidence, not no 1865 Supreme Court case that really doesn't apply to your facts and circumstances. And then I'll revisit the situation. But better yet, show me that your affidavit of truth actually have validity when they don't respond, because they're not responding to that nonsense. Show me that you've won by estoppel on your affidavit of truth. Goodbye.